G'day, welcome to my playthrough of Oxygen Not Included. So session 76, I believe. Alright, so thank you for the comments on the previous one, with Hassan sneezing away here. Very first question we want to address is someone asked, let's firstly up the priority of this getting done. Someone did ask, is anyone a doctor? Looks like it's just Rowan, and he's a little bit of a jack of all trades. So he's not full priority a doctor. But we can probably make that for him now, just to make sure someone's getting the job done with all our doctoring things. It was also suggested that I add eggshell, lime, and another one into lime as well. Small poke shell poke shell. Just a poke shell one. Guess just a... No, not that one. This one. Just to sort of, I guess, clean up probably that stuff around the base. I'm going to point out as well that the water going through here only gets cooled 14 degrees. So if this water is too hot, then this water is going to come out warm as well. I guess just something I've got to keep an eye on there. But that water shouldn't really get too much hotter than it already is. All the hot water that would have come down from here is now in here. That granite. And obviously there's going to be a little bit of ice just dripping in there to cool it down. Tiny bit too. I assume that if the outside air temperature is lower than the water, then surely the water would cool slowly over time. One thing we can finally see in this room, though, is that we do have steam. We are finally getting steamy in here. Contents of the water in there is 25 degrees, which is fine. Steam temperature below 125 degrees. So I assume that this guy must continue to go up a little bit. It's got to become a real sauna. Have a look at what else we had going on. We're up to 7.3 tons of steel. How are we doing with our little room here? Slowly getting there. We'll just ask for the whole thing to be dug out as well. I suppose we can ask them to just get more of the area just sort of blocked out. We'll eventually just have to block this off too. Some really germy oxygen we got out there, though. Of course, if there's digging to be done, Ellie's going to get in there and to task. Nice to see the water in this room slowly rising a little bit. But we have asked for that guy to get killed. Good. Allergy medications. We have some starting to appear. Also suggested, I think, that the refrigerators get some nice high priority, so let's do that. I was also said, and hopefully I can remember it at some point, that if I do need to dig up a whole lot of plants at once, all I've got to do is just use the dig errand and then just sort of go across. Like that. On the plant itself. So let's just see if I can retain that to memory. These things have been sitting here a while. You were one of the people that lived here. Would you have commented how there were some crude oil containers that had just sat in the very center of the base for a year, I think? Oh, still jam-packed down here. Someone did suggest as well that I could get rid of this, that I've got a much more efficient way of making plastic now that this is really a waste of time and energy for what I'm getting from it. I suppose it would be a good spot to have. Could make 3-4 more bedrooms in here if I needed to. Try and keep that in mind. But yeah, so close here. 100 more. We're off and running. And someone has gone nuts doing that allergy medication. They're actually taking it seriously now. It'd be cool if there was a way that I could ask for something to stay at a certain level. So for example, could I have an option that was just, I want to keep my available medication at say 50. So if anyone is using it, someone will come back and attempt to make more until it does hit that cap of 50 again. Otherwise, don't worry about doing it. See my cooks both going well there too. The amount of food that I've gotten has really started to rocket again. So I don't know if... I assume that it takes less bristle blossom. But 600 calories for some meal lice. I don't know if I've got any actual... Let's just pause for a second. That's 6,000 calories. Omelette there too. Nuts. I want to know what the... So I assume that that means that I can actually dramatically... There's a blossom seed. Blossom seed, the bristleberry. So that's 600. So I assume that surely I must be... Ingredients is just, what, one bristleberry? Effects is one of those. So if that's 2,000 calories versus the 600 calories that you're getting from lice, does that actually mean that I can cull a lot of my meal wood? I'm certainly willing to do it, and just confirm that I'm working that out correctly. Like, so for example, could I get rid of this row of lice, of mealwood here, and then just sort of put in a ceiling and make these guys bristle blossoms? What were we saying? Four bristle blossoms per person should be enough. So if I've got 14 people, or 3 to 4, 3 if they actually do cook them properly. So if we said 4 for 14, it'd be 28. I must have done this math before it feels familiar. 48 would be 4. So 40 would be 4 times 10. 12 would be 16 would be 4 times 4. So that would mean it'd be 56. I'd need 56 bristle blossom trees to completely sustain. And that's only if I had nothing else and that they actually weren't cooking the bristle blossoms. So if it's 3, then that would be 12. So it'd be 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. 16, 17. 20, 21, 22, 23. 25, 26, 27, 28. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 38, 39, 40, 41. So in theory, I've got too hot over here. That that light's broken. Have a look. So what is it down the line that's killing this? Is it just this guy here? Doesn't really seem like there's that much on that line. Bunch of bunch of how much I guess this guy uses. Will I actually just get in there and repair that, or do I have to ask them to? Oh, they can still climb up there, good. This was probably a poor design here, because I very easily could have just moved this roof to up here. These lights there, shifted this up, and then had that accessible to the extra space as well. All my highlighted resources gone away again. It's like when a new thing comes out and then it removes, then it just removes everything. So we want, what do we want to see? Steel. Dirt. Glass was on there. That glass, that glass. And we have our tonnage required. So let's mop up our liquid spills. Let's move the debris from out of here. And wait, can I actually do obsidian, can I? Or is that two different things? Right, no, they're the two different sections, so they've got to both be selected. That is a lot taller than I was expecting. I guess I could probably lower it a little bit, but I realized that higher level just means that I can actually have water all the way to that point. How's our steam looking? Still only 99. And we're looking pretty full up here, but we don't have too many old fish or babies sort of sitting in place. What could I do to reduce their glumness? So we've just got to wait out like another 130 years for this guy to... 130 cycles rather, for that guy to just die and solve that problem, I guess. I'm gonna rip up this lot. I think that with how fast my food calories has suddenly rocketed, makes me think that I definitely don't need as many meal wood as I've currently got out and available. And these guys feel like the ones that are just in the way a bit. As are these guys. Even without those two, we've got all of this and all of that. There are things growing down here, aren't there? They're just hidden behind that. I don't think we need salt water, so let's just reject all there. It's an insufficient resource of steel, and our steel is showing a 0. Why have we sort of lost access to our steel? Or is it because the steel has actually been claimed for this? Spend a lot of time having to go into the water to get stuff into or out of these storage bins. Alright, cool. So steel is now starting to move in there. Still do only have this one room with drywall behind it. There, drywall some more. Just be nice and give everyone some back wall in their bedrooms. I feel like probably doing this for almost the entire community. Make the whole place look so much more fancy. The temperatures around there are still really toasty. I'm amazed that these guys are okay to grow. Somehow by the time you get down here, it just sort of plummets away. How are we looking over here, guys? Athletics is at 8. Heap. Athletics is at 9. Once we see double digits for either of you, we'll send you on your way. Potentially, once we see double digits for one of you, I'll send you both on your way. Water. Yeah. Alright, so once we're done with that, the next one's going to be 5 tons of steel. Our next goal for the second piece of this set. Steel just sitting over there still as well. That's actually almost hit its full level. So in theory, what I could do is just create a hole in the ground at the bottom and just let that water seep down with all of the rest of this mess. It's very low priority mop-up job. They'll do that. They end up fixing that light at the top. I forgot to check on that. No, do I actually have to ask for this wire to be deconstructed and then rebuild it? Got a few more walls completed. Got Stinky as a serial snorer. Just enjoying his stories. You're looking chilly though. Low oxygen. How's our oxygen looking in that area? Well, it's certainly not clogged or anything there, so I can surprise me if it's still pushing through. Nice to see that some of these suits are also just maxed out. Okay, so now I should just be able to put our cabling back in there. Right, so this guy also goes up. This guy, that's where he's getting hit with its... Getting hit with being overused. So maybe what we should do is just redo this wiring into the more heavy duty stuff. Really not keen to get that last 380 going. It's definitely available there. Still must be missing something here, because that steam, I guess, isn't getting hot enough for this turbine to take it. It doesn't seem like this guy's holding at a high enough strength, at a high enough heat to continuously boil that water. That it's sort of, he'll make some steam, it won't be hot enough to go in there, and eventually it'll cool down and just come back into the water. Have a look again at this wiring. This is definitely the guy that can distribute a fair bit more. Just wait to see if it happens again, I guess. Let's have a look at the Colony Submarine, because we haven't had a look at this one for a while. We look forward to playing this through at some point. That doesn't seem like it's going all the way. It was pretty large sort of strides that it's doing each time now, I guess. Just doesn't sort of keep it at a really steady pace. It just smashes through like once every 30 days, I guess, at this point or so. See that? Already reached the modern flooding section. Yeah, there's our 2 drops in where we forgot to produce oxygen anymore. Our calorie generation is significantly up again now, so I would say that the Bristles Blossom is well worth it. Hour is rocketing away. Calories and power wasted. Travel times, I guess, are getting worse. Work time, but I assume this is just a cumulative of like the amount of people I have. Yeah, there you go. So average travel time, average work time have both gone down. Wild Critters is going down. A bunch of charts or others I've never looked at. It's just that great monument that we're waiting on. It's one that we still easily probably just bump up to. What was the ones that I was actually aiming for at the moment? Getting close with our tune-ups. And we're still a long way away from our hatches making 10 tons, but they're definitely getting there. Need to maybe look into what auto sweepers and what they can do. Oh, and someone bring it over. I've been making more. There's more steel there, but for whatever reason, steel is showing as 0. Yeah. I must have had a bit of an ordeal out there. I wonder if I can just give someone, like say Camille, it's got a little bit of priority in both of those. Do you want to just really focus on tidying and storing things? Are there any skills that I can give Camille that would contribute towards for the extra athletics that she can get there? Let her do some more supply carrying. Tidying. And who else do I want to have a look at? Who are my other new people? Ruby. Get you straight into your suit wearing, just to up your athletics. And Meep. Similar thing. Let's get your athletics going. Both of those upgrades there, hopefully the two of these guys are going to be okay to come out of there now. Cool. So we say... There we go. So we now got 2 extra people in the world to help out. That's sitting at the foot of your bed. That's his hat. Alright, okay. Earth is so close here, guys. Come on. Need to up the priority of this. Someone get it done. We also really stopped making glass, didn't we? I realize that with a bit of everything, I'm just sort of upping the priority. But hopefully we're a little bit more efficient now that we've got Meep and Ruby around to address things too. Guess it's not... Here we go. Ashcan's taken it upon himself to get this moving in the right direction. There we go. We've got a whole bunch of choices, do we? We could have legs out, legs in, sitting, standing. I don't think we want to sort of like suggest we've squashed anything. A bunch of eggs. I mean, I feel like trash is the most inspiring of those, but go for that one for now. There we go. Now we get to wait for the next one. Now we can see as well that the area that that's going to take up is just going to be straight up. Which does mean that I can use this area here for, say, apartments. That I can have a ladder that goes straight up and then have 1, 2, possibly 3 people fit in there. Hopefully this is high enough. Or that I've got, sorry, this roof is high enough. Good work, guys. We've got a base. I wonder if I should give someone else the skill of hiding. Get Meep in there in his priorities too. That food is still on the rise. This does feel dumb. We've not just built up to here. So only has to push that up 1 more. This has always been the weirdest waste of space in my base. So let's file out all of that. See if they can get that built. And once I've done that, we'll just shift everything up. And we'll get rid of this, make that meal wood as well. And then I reckon we can possibly, sorry, make that a bristle blossom. And then I think we can probably get rid of a lot of our extra mealwood sections. Really, it's just that, and that. Actually, I've also reached the extent of our room there. Still like going in here, but no one's willing to address the cabling here, which I would have thought would be that you just come across the top and get it done. Now we only need 2.5 tons of glass, so at least someone has started working on that glass again. Actually, looks like we might call this the last night of our session as well. Still got a lot of water just roaming in through here. Not sure who was responsible for all of that. Very exciting times. We do finally have part 1 of 3. And it was the expensive part, or most expensive part as well. So we're up to part 2 on this one, which will be 2,500 ceramic, 2,500 plastic, 5 tons of steel. So if we just do a quick check of ceramic, 17 tons, we're good. And plastic, 10 tons, we're good. Which also is the explanation for why we really don't need this room anymore. Cool. So now it's just going to be a few more hours, I suppose, of wait until we can get that steel done. And we're good. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. Till next time, catch you later. See ya.